sophisticated thin film solar panels had opened the world's largest commercial solar R&D center in Xi'an, China. Because 50% of the solar panels in the world are now made in China. This R&D center recruited 330 people in China, 31% with masters or PhD degrees. The last item related to political news, Bahrain, where the dissatisfied Shiite voters became aware of the large economic discrepancy between them and the ruling Khalifa families. Activists there put photographs of 40 royal palaces on the web. On the other hand, there were examples of a poor family, 17 persons crowded in one small house. So this led to the revolution in Bahrain. A striking example of spread of technology in the world is a competition sponsored by IBM, Battle of the Brains. The results of 2011 competition, the top team was from Zhejiang University, China. And out of the top 12 teams, where Russia had 5, USA had 2, China had 2, Germany 1, Ukraine 1, Poland 1, and Canada 1. The importance of education is borne out by imaginary conversation between President Obama and Hillary Clinton. And this is imaginary. When he's offered to have the job of Secretary of State, she should have said, no thanks. This job was important till Cold War was on. Now the most important job is education. And I'd like to be Secretary of Health. Education. Today's leading countries in economic development are concentrating on education. For example, Singapore does not treat as a social issue, education. It's now an economic issue. Research at Stanford University and McKinsey's brought out the features of 10 best performing school systems in the world. Teachers in those countries came from the top 10% of their graduates. Salaries were in line with salaries in other economic fields. Teachers spent 10% of their time on professional development. The quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of teachers. It has been suggested that there should be a National Education Academy in the US, modeled after National Military Academy, to raise the level of profession amongst the teachers. It has been found that if you take students from the lowest performing quarter of students and put them with a good teacher, in 3 years the gap can be closed. The reverse is also true.
उसके सामने जो बुकिंग है ना उसमें जाना था एक वीडियो कैमरा और एक स्टिल कैमरा ये तो तू लैब पे आके कैमरा ले जा इनसे काम करके आ जावा चल छोड़
rootless in the community they live. In fact, primary school teachers should be from the community itself. There's no reason why they should be going from. And again, one example of how teachers are being honored. In Williams College of Massachusetts, 4 high school teachers nominated by students were awarded honorary degrees. Teachers with their families are flown to the annual convocation and honored with their families. So there is a lot of ground to be covered by us in India if we are to have a semblance of a good school system. In India, IT industry has found that 25 to 30% of engineering graduates are unemployable. And even those when they employ, Infosys puts them through its 6 months training, internal training before they put them on the job. It speaks very poorly for the education system generally. It is heartening that IIT Roorkee, along with 2 other IITs, Kharagpur and Bombay, have figured in the top 400 list of the year. while continuously improving their rankings, they could also provide some support, some help in terms of knowledge in our school system. So, unless we can do that, I'm afraid all our politicians can take us nowhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your very enlightening address. We're also privileged to have with us today Shri V.S. Verma, Member, Central Electricity Regulatory Commission, as our guest of honor. Shri Verma is an alumnus of 1971 BE Mechanical and an ME of 1973. He distinguished himself with his monumental work in the Indian power sector. Before joining his current assignment in 2009, Shri Verma was a member of the Central Electricity Authority and has been in this position since 2002. Additionally, he was Director General of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Shri Verma has spearheaded the policy planning of Indian power sector. He has taken a number of initiatives related to Indian power sector and is today by far the most important person in this sector. May I now request Shri Verma to kindly address the gathering. Shri Verma, please.
Professor Pradipta Banerjee, SP Budhiraja, Shri Gupta, SP Gupta, Shri Harsh Seniwal, very respected and distinguished alumni of the University of Roorkee and IIT Roorkee, students and friends. It's a great honor to be present amongst you all and be associated with, I would say, day-to-day activity of the IIT Roorkee. And more so after joining of the present director, Pradipta Banerjee. We have frequent discussions on the future growth of this institution as a whole. You may be aware that today in the country, we have fallen short of the core engineering professionals like mechanical engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineers. Not that these engineers are not being produced, but they prefer to shift to the IT sector. IT sector pays them more. I have been telling the industry, whenever an opportunity came, why not increase the salary levels and the remuneration of the core engineers at least to the same level, if not better, so that the industry is able to retain these core engineers. A situation has come in the country when the large manufacturers like BHEL are forced to re-employ the retired professionals. It's good that their professional capabilities are being used, but the young engineers are also required. We have also fallen short of the skilled and semi-skilled manpowers. We are short of bar benders, we are short of masons, we are short of welders, high quality welders. And the result is that the country is not able to achieve its targets in various sectors. Power sector in specific, we always fall short of. You may be wondering why we fix a target of 40,000 megawatt, achieve only 20,000 megawatt. We fixed a target of around 80,000 megawatt in the 11th plan, we achieve only 50,000 megawatt, 54,000 megawatt. We have a large target of commissioning in 12th plan and 13th plan. But of late, the country has been able to set up the various manufacturing facilities in the country. But availability of engineering manpower is still a question with us. How to retain that manpower in the core engineering sector? One of the prime responsibilities of such institutes like IIT Roorkee. I wish that the director and other head of the departments focus on this area so that these core professionals are availability increases in the country. The quality of the faculty. Shri Bodhiraja focused on that, is very important. My impression was that presently the professionals with the bright academic career records are not interested in teaching profession. So the research content has also gone down. Even in this institute, I have been interacting with various research projects which are being undertaken. I am rather not very satisfied the way we are going and have several suggestions to make. I have also made those suggestions in various meetings and interactions which we made. This must increase. There has to be more interaction with the industry. Your research projects have not to be only academic in nature, which finally gets compiled in the form of a PhD thesis or an ME thesis and goes to the library and have no practical application. I suggested that let there be a very intensive interaction with the industry and the research projects. The industry has enough problems. The power sector has enough problems. We are struggling to solve those problems. Why not this alma mater comes forward in sharing that burden of taking up the research projects, which are very relevant to today's matter. Our grid has increased. Our installed capacity today is more than 2,08,000 megawatt. We are not able to generate even 1,30,000 megawatt from this generation capacity. It's rather a matter of shame in the country. We don't care about energy conservation and energy efficiency. When a new plant is installed, it's very efficient, state of the art. But with time, something goes wrong with us, with our attitudes. And we forget that the plant health has to be maintained with time. This has also something to do with the quality of the professionals which we have. Let me tell you one thing, that most of the IT professionals which have gone out of this country are underemployed. They are not given the core jobs of IT. They get the money, all right, but is that the way we have to go? Money earning is not the only motto. If I say that 90% of them, I had several interactions, they're employed on jobs, very small jobs. That is not a job of an IT professional or a competent information technology man or a computer science graduate. Most of them are busy on those kind of a job. And if you interact with them, they would not tell you also what they are doing. They hesitate to tell you. So this is the state of affair. No country, I used to normally give the example of, like in the house, we give the job of sweeping and cleaning utensils to someone, but cooking we retain in our hand. The only housewife will cook and give you the food. Similarly, these developed countries also give you the job of sweeping and cleaning utensils in the IT sector. But the main engineering jobs, they retain with them. They don't employ you. So there is a need to seriously think how to go about it. People are running after money, they leave this country and go to, I frequently visit, say, US and other countries, and I interact with them. Most of them will say what to do, now we cannot come back. I've already had 20 years in this country. If I go back to India, I will not get a good job. Yes, you will not get a good job because you have not added value to your job. In the core engineering, if I have rendered 40 years of service, I can say that a person who has come out of the professional, he cannot match my experience. But in IT sector, your 20 years of job is something like 1 year of job repeated 20 times. I am consciously making these remarks. I think something has to be done about it. Our alumni have also to play a role. I am also a part of it. In spreading this message and educating our younger ones. What I wanted is that visibility of IIT Roorkee should be more at the national level, at the policy planning level. When we take important decisions, why IIT Roorkee is not there? IIT Kanpur is there, IIT Mumbai is there. Something should be done. I would contribute my bit. Wherever possible, I would like to associate IIT Roorkee in a big way. All IITs, but IIT Roorkee in particular because I come from this institution. Research projects must be industry intensive. For example, the power system is very important. There are not many people in the country who understand the power system, who can carry out the power system studies and find out the grid congestion. Grid congestion has become a very great phenomenon today. You know that July end 30-31, the whole grid failed in the country. Automation in the grid is not there. Now R&D has to play its part. The government's policy, I'll take 5 more minutes. The government policy is to introduce the renewable sources of energy in the sector, because there was a huge pressure on us to adopt unviable technology in our sector. Carbon sequestration and storage was one pressure on us. We took a decision, conscious decision, that we would not participate in installing this technology in the country, because the moment we install this technology, our efficiency of generation comes down by 30%, 15 percentage points. The cost of generation doubles, therefore we would not do that. We found out an alternative to reduce the carbon dioxide footprint in the country, to introduce renewable energy sources like solar and wind. But cost is prohibitive. Actually, these technologies do not cost much, but since they are monopolized by the international suppliers, we pay through our nose. It is where the role of IIT comes. I knew that IIT Kanpur was doing a research on reducing the cost of the solar technology, but that research has not yet taken a shape. They were telling me that the cost is coming, the efficiency is low, organic based solar cell. I told them does not matter. If the cost is low, we will tolerate a low efficiency. We will have a higher layout area, higher area occupied by that. But we must do that, indigenize this technology. Such research should be sponsored and given priority in the country, in IIT, so that the cost come down. Today the solar cost is about 7 to 8 crores per megawatt. A conventional coal-fired cost between 3 to 4 crores per megawatt. There is no comparison of technology. But the monopolized sector is putting us into trouble. Similarly, wind. Wind is being sold to 6 to 7 crores per megawatt. Are you aware? A conventional coal-fired power plant is 3 crores. But where is the comparison of technology? In a wind and a conventional one? To me, it appears wind should be sold not more than 0.5 to 1 crore per megawatt. But these manufacturers know that we need this technology. There is an international pressure. The country has taken a policy decision, and therefore we would, in any case, install wind farms in our country. After all, cost of a product can be found out. If someone tells an engineer that find out the cost of a mic, he will break down. What is the cast iron part, what is the alloy steel in this, how much is the technology involved, how much is the communication work in this, and we can work out what is the cost. After all, the profits cannot be the multiple percentages of the cost. But this can only come if there is a pressure from IIT, for example, and if there are research papers that cost of this technology cost only 1 crore per megawatt.